Hey, Huckster here. What I've done in my videos, or what I've tried to do, and hope I've stayed on track with it, is to tell people how I see things, how I believe. I never try to condemn people for not seeing things the way I do. And sometimes I might come across as if I'm doing that. But I know I never judge anybody for what they believe. And especially simply because they don't believe as I do. But I see a lot of that from YouTube Christians. It's either my way or the highway, according to them, seems like. I just went downtown to pay my bills. I was fortunate enough to come up with the money this month to get my bills paid. In the last few weeks I've been feeling better than I have in the past. But I was going down toward the where I paid my internet, and I have to pass by this building where they get it's a state assistance building, and people go there to get assistance with different things. Food stamps is one, and there was a fire truck and an ambulance going to this building, and they were going into the section of the building where they issue, or people apply for, food stamps. And it reminded me of how here a while back there was a few YouTube Christians talking about how anybody that gets food stamps or any government assistance should be drug tested weekly or monthly, and this should continue until they could get a job and start paying taxes. You know, I first went to work with a full-time job in 1969 and worked all the way up till 2000. I paid a lot of taxes during those years. And for around 15 or 20 years I was self-employed, and I paid more taxes than most people do. A lot of people have taxes taken out of their check, but then they seem to get most of it back when they file. I would pay taxes, and then when I filed, have to pay more taxes. And many of my friends who did the same things I did, or something similar, self-employed, paid taxes and got in trouble with the IRS and are in such debt now with the IRS that it's unbelievable. And we never made a lot of money doing what we did, but during the Clinton years especially, they came down hard on self-employed people. I would get a W-2 every year for over $100,000. But people didn't understand that out of that $100,000, just the block place alone, I paid $50,000. Employees, I paid over $30,000. And then I had all kind of sewer parts and nails and tools and upkeep of 3 trucks and all. You know, when I would do my taxes, I would end up below the poverty level for this state on my income, my personal income. But you know, the IRS didn't see it that way. They seen that I was getting a W-2 for over $100,000, and they didn't accept my receipts and my honesty about where the money went. And you know, my taxes were done properly. All my records were kept properly. But these Christians say that until these people who are on these welfare programs, we'll call them, food stamps or disability or whatever, need to be drug tested continually until they start paying taxes. You know, it's good to be healthy and in your prime and being able to work and do a job that benefits others, benefits yourself. But what these Christians don't seem to realize is people do get in trouble with their health. Most of these Christians on YouTube are pretty young. Younger than, you know, the majority of them are much younger than me. And when I hear them preaching their religion of death and destruction, because that's what it is, it's a religion of death and destruction. They criticize other religions such as Islam for wanting to bring on an end of the world, but these Christians want it themselves. Because, and they'll tell you they're going to be carried away to heavenly bliss, while the majority of people are going to suffer for eternity in hell. Not only do they believe that, but they believe their deity would like for them to put more torment in this life on people that struggle, that have health problems. What they're saying is the system is not set up well enough to regulate itself on who gets assistance. In their opinion, nobody should get assistance. If you do, they're going to make it so difficult and make like with the food stamps, they want them to go to a warehouse and get government cheese and dried beans. Only that can sustain them while they, in their prime, and probably have had jobs where they embezzled and cheated and lied. You know, some of them even admitted that they have done that in their past jobs. They want to eat the best, drive the best vehicles, live in the best houses, and call it being blessed of God. And those less fortunate, they want to accuse them of being druggies or anything else. Where's the compassion in their Christianity? And I say their Christianity because it's not my Christianity. Let's quit judging people while we're alive here and while they're alive. Especially when your judgment is skewed towards yourself and what you believe and the way you see things, rather than the reality of God. Peace, love, justice, understanding, music, and friends.